see you in just a bit, Danny, but we're looking at pictures now of the Pacific Palisades, and this is just how strong the winds are that Danny was talking about. These are the conditions that firefighters are up against tonight as that fire burns through Malibu. I mean, it really does look like Armageddon. Seriously, a fire scare near the Getty Villa tonight. We spotted flames nearby. That happened around 5 p.m. But tonight, the J. Paul Getty Trust tells KCAL News the structure, the collection, and the galleries are all safe thanks to fire prevention measures and water storage that they have on site.
Oh, there we go.
And yes, that's our KCAL's Jasmine Veal. She's in the middle of the firefight tonight. She and her photographer found themselves surrounded by flames and those flying embers. Flames erupted all around them on Temescal Canyon, and then as they made their way down to PCH, it was something to see. All right, I thought we had a full report from Jasmine there, but that was very concerning for a while. She got out of off the freeway and got off of PCH, I should say, and got into her vehicle and moved further down, and still ran into some more areas. That's one thing about this fire that we've seen, and when I say this fire, I'm particularly talking about the Palisades fire. It just grew and stretched from one direction to the next. Yeah. And when you went to the north, you thought you'd be better off. You went to the south, nope, you know, you
so
ran into trouble there.
Sure.
And then you had to run back north. So now, I mean, just thinking of how far this fire has spread in all different directions. Okay, and we're looking at video from Jasmine's cameraman there that obviously is a little, you know, in everything else that we've been trying to look at tonight. But we do have our Tom Waite. Tom, you've been out there all evening, and now we see you are in front of a structure that's burning. Looks like a home.
Yeah, Pat, we just came upon this. We're coming up PCH North, just near Topanga Canyon, and this is just awful. Look at this. I mean, this house looks like it I don't know if it's two different houses or if it's one. It looks like it's two. Wow, it is so hot. You can feel the heat of this fire. And as we were coming by here, you know, as we were coming north, we saw a number of homes on the hillside, on the north side that are burning. But this is on the south side of PCH. And obviously this is just fully engulfed. Man, that is like the heat from this fire is really intense. And we've seen firefighters like come past it, but I don't know if they're trying to get reinforcements or something, but they didn't stop. I don't know what's going on here. Obviously, they're stretched very thin, so they're trying to do everything they can. I obviously don't have a sense of how, you know, they can prioritize these situations, and these houses can go up so quickly because the embers can just, you know, blow in from one to another. But these houses are very densely packed, so obviously there's a worry that these houses could. Wow, it looks like. Oh man, is that a third one catching too? Wow. Okay. Oh man, it looks like. Oh gosh, this is just terrible. Oh Pat. Oh man.
Smoke too.
This is so. This fire is just raging. You know.
Tom, can you tell us where you are specifically?
You know this area well.
Can you tell us where you are specifically?
Sure.
What
Yeah.
streets?
PCH. Yeah. PCH, and I think we are just north of Topanga, right? Just north of Topanga, like just very close to there. Yeah, in Pacific Palisades, technically, I believe, but yeah, just north of Topanga on PCH. Obviously, that's the south side the west side of PCH. So on the beach side. But yeah, I know. It's just,
and you know what? I mean, on the beach side, you've got homes that are really close together.
Exactly, Pat. I mean, that's exactly
so
right.
See and how, oh my God, it's just hopscotch.
Oh my gosh, you just worry there's nothing. Yeah, I mean, I'm. Oh my gosh, wow.
I mean, we've been watching homes burn all day.
And then, of course, once
this
it starts raging, it's like, yeah, it is. It is.
Especially when we first came to you, Tom. Only a minute ago, it seemed that it wasn't that intense. It was intense, but now at this point, yeah, this is just, it looks like it's hopscotching from one house to the next, and it just, that house on the left just exploding.
Exactly. Well, Pat, you said it. Yeah, and Pat, like you said, they're so close together. So you know, and you know, we were in Temescal Canyon. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever.
And Tom, you were talking about how you saw firefighters pass this area. They saw this house on fire.
Are you in danger, Tom?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Okay, if you don't know, maybe. Do you want to take some time and come back to us, Tom?
What'd you say?
Do you want to take some time and come back to us?
I think, okay, wind's shifting a little bit. I think we're okay. I think we're okay.
So yeah, we could see it happen right in front of our very eyes.
We're not by a hillside, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's.
What was it? I was going to tell you, you know, yeah.
You know what?
That's nuts,
looks.
Right? I mean, that's crazy.
It looks unreal. It is so bright orange, and we see that house to the left of the first one that now is completely engulfed in flames. And Susie, not that we were counting, but there was one on the other side, and if I'm not mistaken, would that be a fourth house that we saw? Brush that was
definitely multiple homes.
Oh man,
I do believe so, Pat.
Yeah. Oh,
and
that's
you know, these are the homes, as you were talking about, so tight, packed along PCH there.
That's just.
But with that view and with you know, you can only imagine tomorrow what that is going to look like along that whole stretch there along PCH. Because earlier this evening,
I know, and I just hope the firefighters come because there's so many houses that are stacked right on top of each other here, Pat and Susie. It's like if they don't get here, I mean, they're all going to go up. Yeah. I mean, and there were so many houses. I think Lori was right by.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
And Matt or Mike, feel free to chime in. But yeah, exactly. Lori was sort of she decided we kind of reorganized our little plan here. So we came north, and she was going south, and we saw kind of that hillside of homes that was going up. You know, just south of where we are right now. So it was that was sort of surreal, just seeing so many houses destroyed there, and then coming up on this, which obviously we didn't know was going to be here.
Also along the coast.
Yeah, I mean, we're just feet from the beach, right? We're just a few yards.
Well, that's the thing. Again,
so
those houses being so close, and there are so many of them. And Tom, we have just watched the scene change in just the short time that we've been talking with you. As soon as that wind blows again, the fire goes in a different direction. But there's no way that those homes are, are safe, Mike.
Yeah, and you know, Tom's talking about the fire engines that are going past him, and it's because I'm listening to some of the radio traffic further up PCH, near Big Rock, and a little bit more to the north. They're getting 911 calls because there may still be people up there. So I think
that's their priority.
Right, that's going to be the difference. Life safety is always going to take priority over a structure. It's terrible and it's sad to see these burn, but it sounds like they're concerned that there are still people further to the north that they're trying to get to, which is why they're letting this happen.
That are in the evacuation zone, but had not left, or were not able to?
We're not able, either or, didn't, chose not to, or couldn't, whatever the reason may be. But it's really remarkable. Wow. Oh, wow. That's really shooting up there. But it's really remarkable to listen. There's even, earlier I just heard them say they had to shoo a bunch of people out of a parking lot that are still hanging around up there, and they needed to lock the gate so nobody would come back. I mean, it's really remarkable how these fire crews are constantly having to deal with the public that has been in an evacuation zone for hours now and are still here.
And then there's no way they're going to get back to their homes tonight to check on anything.
And it's not safe.
It's just not safe, absolutely. So that's just not going to happen.
Right.
And it makes me wonder if they were still in the parking lot. Were they not able to get out? Did they not have transportation, say, to get further down PCH and out of the way?
It sounded like it was cars, and it sounded like that people were able to leave because somebody was talking about how they're going to clear them out and get them to go and get them to leave and then lock the gate behind them.
So they were driving then?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's a different story.
Right,
I bet they were waiting to see if they can go back.
Yeah, or it doesn't sound like it's hard to tell if it's residents, if it's looky-loos, if it's people wanting to just come see the fire, but it's certainly at that moment was tying up resources, and then I was listening to them continuously call out 911 calls further up PCH where there were concerns that there were still people inside of those homes.
Yeah, so despite these evacuation orders, obviously, I mean, we understand, people want to be close to their homes, what we often hear, Pat, And Mike is, you know, I just want to hold on just for as long as I can.
Yeah.
And that limit for people is different. So for some people, it might be right after those mandatory evacuation orders come out. For others, it might be past that, like tonight, as Mike was just talking about.
And we also have to mention that probably some of the same people that were evacuated in the Franklin fire a month ago have to evacuate again tonight. They may be thinking, well,
I did it the first time.
Right, especially in the Pepperdine situation.
Right.
Remember, we know that they were told to shelter in place, I believe in the library, and that said they were well protected with not only the greenery but concrete. So they felt they were safe, even though some students did leave, but most of them did stay. And now here tonight, we hear that they were under another threat, but you know, people even around that area may not have taken it as seriously because it didn't happen the last time.
Yeah, I was just going to say, especially if you know, hey, it worked the first time, I can stick around and maybe it'll work this time. But
just be fine, right.
even though we're talking about a fire that's almost in the exact same area, it's not burning like it did the Franklin fire. This is burning. I mean, we're talking about rows of homes along PCH now that are on fire that we're seeing in Tom's shot. And I can tell you,
oh my gosh,
even further up, and Tom, it looks like it's spreading to more houses.
Yeah, oh man, it's so hot too. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, this is nuts.
Really intense.
I'm just kind of scared about like what's in those things. I just don't know. I don't know. I think we should get out of here just because I don't know what's inside those houses and I don't know if they're going to explode.
Yeah.
Well, then we don't want to see that happen. So Tom, please, you know, your safety is most important.
Absolutely.
That's priority as well. All of our crews out there. So Tom, then we want you to leave that area. And so